Hi, I'm Rose McDonough. I am a retired home ec teacher, and a couple weeks ago I saw Maggie Harden out in the store. She's a college student. And Maggie said, Mrs. McDonough, you need to do some recipes for college students that you can do in a dorm, or when the dorms have the kitchens that they can do there. Which started me thinking, well, of course I have to do that. So I started thinking also, if you were going to be buying things for a college student, or you're the college student needing to buy, what do you need? Well, you need a cutting board. Everybody should have a cutting board, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know I believe in wooden cutting boards. You should have a wooden cutting board. Quick cut knives are wonderful, plus another knife if you can. A handy dandy rubber scraper, and you want to get a silicone one because you want to make sure that it can get up to 550 degrees. And these are my kitchen shears, and I suggest that you have a pair of kitchen shears as well. These are not to be cutting the UPC label out of your root beer so that you can get a rebate. These are for food. I do use them for the top of packages, rinse them off again, and I use them for food, and that's the best thing. And then I got this from Pampered Chef a whole long time ago. You can see it's discolored because I've had it for so long. You measure dry ingredients on one side, liquid ingredients on the other. How wonderful is that? So this is something else that would be simple, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. I also suggest at least one hot pad so you can put your ramen noodles or ramen noodles on top of it. All right, so let's go to the meal, the one pot meal in a skillet. We're going to use a skillet today. This is a skillet. I have other things here too. This is a pan. This is a pot. Pots have two handles. Pans have one. A comes before O. I don't really know. And sure, you can call them different things, but these are truly what the names of them are. So I'm going to use my skillet, and I'm going to use my lid that matches it today. Let me pull this over, and like I said, I've already got this started. If you look at the pictures, there are two different meals that I actually took pictures of. Both of them use some of the same ingredients. Here I am with this amazing rubber scraper. Ta-da! Got the rubber scraper. I heated my pan up already so I could get started and not be wasting your time doing this. The recipe calls for a can of cream of chicken soup and a half of a can of water. Funniest thing ever. I try not to laugh at students, middle school students, but it's really easy to do that. I saw my kids one day, and they're in their kitchen unit, and then they go over to the pantry where I have everything, and they go to get their ingredients out, and I see a kid just standing there. And unfortunately, this happened more than once. I would see a kid standing there, and I would go over and I'd say, "What are you looking for?" And he would say, "I'm looking for the can of water." It's the can that you use and a half a can of water. You don't need a measuring spoon of that. And although we buy water in bottles, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be buying cans of water. All right, so anyway, I've got my cream of chicken soup in here. To my can of cream of chicken soup, I'm going to add this rice. You can use a cup of regular rice if you want. For these, you can use instant rice, and then you need maybe 7 to 15 minutes in the skillet. If you're going to use other rices, like this rice takes a good 20 minutes to cook. You just have to adjust your cooking time. But I'm doing this side dish that has cheddar and broccoli in it because this is an easy dish to do. So I'm putting that in here. I'm going to hold that aside, mix this up. The other thing I'm doing is I already partially pre-cooked some broccoli, threw it in the microwave for a few minutes, opened it up and used my shears and went in and chopped up my broccoli. So after I mix up my rice, because I want my rice to have all of that moisture on it, it needs liquid. You may have to adjust your liquid. If you're using something larger, you may need more water to it. You have to be able to read the sides and make that decision. All right, that's all mixed, that's all in there. I've got all of the rice covered with the cream of chicken soup and the water. I'm going to put my broccoli in here. And then I bought chicken. It's a little bit pricey to buy this pre-cooked chicken, but if you need to make a meal inside your dorm room, this is a great thing to do. Or if you have to make a fast meal because you know you're going to be going somewhere, this is also great to use. I got the Southwest. You don't have to, you can get the plain. I also use my kitchen shears to pre-cut this up, and I'm going to toss this on here. If you like to take salads for lunch, these are great things to take for your salads for lunch as well. All right, so I'm going to mix all this in here a little bit better. And remember, when you're doing things, you're going from the bottom to the top, and it says to simmer, which means I need to turn this down. I've got it way too hot for that. Top to bottom, I'm folding it. I'm going from the outside to the middle and folding, so I'm not making a mess with it. It smells so good already. Oh my gosh. When I am finished with this, I may or may not add more cheese. The recipe calls for it, but I'm smelling it now and it already smells so good. Maybe I won't want to use cheese on there. I'm patting this down. Make sure that it's all covered. All of your rice needs to be covered. Just like when you're using your Instant Pot, all of your pasta needs to be covered. It's still a little bit hot. I want to go down to about 1 for simmer. Put the lid on, and it's going to cook for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes may actually be a little bit too long for this, so I'm going to check it at 10 minutes. And when I check it at 10 minutes, what I want to know is my rice plumped up and is it cooked? If you're using a minute rice, it doesn't take long because it's already been pre-cooked and then dried out. All right, the other recipe that you could possibly put together, same idea, the same chicken. I pulled out this rice. This is a big package of rice, and it says on here 4.5 servings on here. You're making this in your dorm. How many days do you want to eat it? So take the package, measure it out, divide it by thirds, and you've got 2 more meals out of here. I would probably, if I were using this one, I might use the mozzarella cheese on here. You also have chicken broth. The problem is, rarely can you get chicken broth anymore in cans. You have to buy them in these larger containers. So what you may choose to do is just buy chicken bouillon cubes. And then you can do a bouillon cube with a cup of water. And that's all you would need, or 2 cups and 2 bouillon cubes. Also a package of taco seasoning mix. Take some black beans. Not everybody likes black beans. You don't have to use them. And again, this is a lot of black beans. So you may want to rinse these out, put half of them into a Ziploc bag, and toss them into your refrigerator to use later that week or the next week for a meal. And then you also want to use some salsa. Sorry, all I have is my homemade salsa to show you on there. But that's another meal that you can make using chicken. Very simple, 1-pot meal. How simple is this? I'll show you a picture when it's all over. Have a picture of all the ingredients put together so you have an idea. When you read the recipe, you're going to see or, cheddar cheese, or Monterey Jack, or Colby Jack, or mozzarella, or, whichever you prefer to use, you can use on there. If you use these ingredients, maybe you don't like yellow rice, go ahead and pick something else out. It's all about what you prefer. It's getting you some ideas of what work well together. All right, the last picture is going to be how it looks all done, and I don't have that much longer to go on it, but I'm going to pull names anyway. This has got to be the fastest video we have ever done. So I'm pulling, I didn't pull it, I actually pulled it out already, Maggie Harden. Because Maggie is the one who asked this. And don't worry, Maggie Harden, I will come up with some other recipes for you as well. All right, so let me pull out the next name. Aw, it's my cousin Deb Rumbaugh, or Deb Bastion is how I knew her most of my life. Deb just turned 60, but I turned 60 just a few months before her, so we're actually the same age. How about that? Deb's been through some stuff in her life, and she tells me that watching my videos is a nice break for her, so I'm really glad. All right, you know the routine. You have to like. If you haven't subscribed, why not? Get around to doing that, okay? And try to subscribe publicly so I have your name and I can put it in here and possibly pull your name too. And for heaven's sakes, share my recipes with other people. I need you to do that, because how else am I going to keep teaching people if no one knows about me? All right, thank you. Have a good night. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your month. enjoy your fall because that's what's coming up. All right, thanks. Bye.